Remember English vocabulary that I just learned? How do I remember English words and phrases that I just learned yesterday when I'm having a conversation today or when I'm having a conversation tomorrow? And my answer is almost always the same. You need to use those words and phrases a lot. You need to use those words and phrases immediately. And in this English lesson, I will teach you 6 different techniques. I will give you 6 tips on how you can do just that. So you want to remember English words and phrases. Here's the first thing you should do. You should use the words and phrases immediately. And the technique I would like you to try is this. It's called the write, listen, write technique. And it works this way. You take the words you've just learned. You write a sentence using each and every word, maybe 1 sentence per word. When you use the word, it makes you think about how to use it. When you hear the word, you hear examples of how it can be used. And then when you write it again, you put both of those things together. So try that technique. Technique number 1, write, listen, write. Technique number 2, you need to visualize the word. And you can do this in 3 different ways. The first way is going to be familiar to you if you've watched my lessons for a while. I like it when people draw pictures beside words that they are learning. If you learn the word for dog, draw a dog. If you learn the word to run or the verb to run, draw a person running. When you connect the meaning of the word to a visualization of the word, that's a big word, isn't it? It just means a picture. It helps you to remember. The second thing you can do is you can take pictures if that works. If you've just learned a lot of new words and phrases for a place like a park, go to a park and take pictures of the things. Take pictures of the things where you just learned the word for that thing. And then lastly, you can simply use your imagination to visualize the meaning of the word. Now, I understand this doesn't work for every single word, but it certainly would work for words like what you're seeing around me now. Grass, tree. Actually, I would probably call this a bush. If you can visualize the meaning of the word, do that and it will help you remember. So 3 things: draw a picture, take a picture, or visualize the meaning of the word. Technique number 3 is to use the word in a conversation as soon as you possibly can after learning it. Technique number 4, practice using the word over a period of time. What I mean is this: if you learn the word on a Tuesday, you should practice it that day, and you should practice using it the next day, and then a week later, and 2 weeks later, and then a month later, and then 2 months later. When you space out the repetition, it has been proven scientifically that you will remember that thing better. You will remember those words better. When you practice on one day and then don't practice again, it's like your brain is a pail with a hole in it, and you keep putting water in it and it keeps running out. If you don't revisit the word that you've learned every week, at least for a little while, eventually you just don't remember it anymore. So technique number 4, make sure you space out the repetition. Make sure you space out the times where you review the words and phrases that you are learning, and I guarantee you, you will remember them way better. Technique number 5, and I will say this is a bit more advanced. Try writing a story with the words and phrases that you just learned. Human beings love stories, and we actually find stories much easier to remember than simply having a list of words. If you can write a simple story using the words and phrases that you just learned, you are more likely to remember them. And I would add this as another level here. If you can write a comic strip where you're drawing pictures and using words and phrases that you've just learned, you'll be even better set to remember them at a later time. So technique number 5, write a story or write a comic strip, use the words and phrases that you just learned, and hopefully that helps you just remember them way better when you need to use them in your next English conversation. Technique number 6, as much as possible, act out the words you are learning. Now, I know this doesn't work for every single word, but it is a very effective way to remember things. If I was teaching you the verb to slap, and I said, to slap means to hit someone across the face with an open hand, you might remember that. But if I said the verb to slap means this, you're probably more likely to remember it. That was a little harder than what it was when I rehearsed this scene. Anyways, if you can act out verbs, especially, if you can act out the verb to jump, to clap, to slap, to punch, be a little careful there, you will remember those words a lot better. And again, I know this doesn't work with every single word or phrase, but when you can, if you can act it out as you're learning it, as you're saying it out loud, you're more likely to remember it. Well, there you have it. 6 things that you can do to help you remember new English words and phrases. And let's take a minute to review all of them. Number 1, you should use the words immediately. Number 2, you should visualize the words. Number 3, you should use the words in your next English conversation. Number 4, space out the repetition and the review. Learn it today, review it tomorrow, review it next week, review it a month from now. Number 5, write a story using the new words and phrases. And then number 6, act out the words that you are learning. Well, thank you so much for watching this English lesson. If this is your first time here, don't forget to click that red subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and I'll see you next week. Bye.